In a world that often celebrates extroversion and social engagement, highly sensitive individuals navigate life through a different lens. Drawing from the insights of Carl Jung, we explore why these sensitive souls may find themselves overwhelmed in crowded spaces. Highly sensitive people possess a profound awareness of their environment, absorbing the emotions and energies of those around them. This heightened sensitivity can lead to feelings of anxiety and exhaustion in social settings, where the cacophony of voices and emotions can feel like a tidal wave crashing over them. In this discussion, we delve into the psychological and emotional dynamics at play, revealing the importance of understanding and respecting the boundaries of sensitive individuals. Discover how embracing their unique nature can foster deeper connections and create a more harmonious environment for everyone involved. For highly sensitive individuals, everyday life is experienced with an intensity that can seem overwhelming to others. This sensitivity not only affects how they react to physical stimuli, but is also deeply connected to their emotional and psychic lives. Carl Jung, in his theory of depth psychology, provides a comprehensive view of how sensitivity relates to the human soul. Highly sensitive individuals are not simply emotional people. They are individuals whose souls seem to be more attuned to the vibrations of the world around them. When Jung speaks of the soul and the unconscious, he refers to something much deeper than the conscious mind or superficial emotions. For him, the soul is that space where the individual and the collective, the conscious and the unconscious, merge. In the case of highly sensitive individuals, this connection is more pronounced. Their senses do not just react to environmental stimuli, they also connect with the deeper and more symbolic aspects of life. A loud noise may not just be annoying, it can trigger a cascade of sensations and emotions that are rooted deep within their being. But what does this mean for the everyday life of a highly sensitive person? Each interaction, each external stimulus becomes a richly nuanced experience. A trivial conversation for someone else may carry significant emotional weight for a highly sensitive person. They can pick up on tones of voice, subtle facial expressions, or even the emotional energy that a person is transmitting, even if it is not verbally expressed. This ability to tune into the emotions of others can be both a blessing and a curse. Highly sensitive individuals are often excellent at understanding the emotional states of those around them, making them valuable friends and advisors. However, it also means they can easily become overwhelmed by sensory and emotional overload. The concept of the collective unconscious, one of Jung's deepest theories, helps us understand why highly sensitive individuals seem to experience a greater emotional burden compared to others. Jung defined the collective unconscious as a set of experiences, memories, and symbols shared by all humanity, but inaccessible at the conscious level for most people. However, for highly sensitive individuals, this barrier between the conscious and the unconscious seems to be more permeable. They seem to be in constant touch with the emotions and symbols residing in this collective unconscious. This means that, even if they may not be aware of it, their reactions to everyday situations are influenced by something much deeper than their personal experiences. For example, a highly sensitive person walking through a crowd may feel inexplicable distress, not because it is directly related to their current situation, but because they are resonating with the emotional energy of the crowd as a whole. This phenomenon is not limited to large groups of people. Even in more intimate interactions, highly sensitive individuals can absorb the unexpressed emotions of others. It is as if they have an emotional antenna always active, picking up subtle signals that others do not perceive. This may explain why highly sensitive individuals often feel a strong empathy for others, even when there are no obvious signs that someone is going through a difficult time. The burden of this constant emotional absorption can be exhausting, as highly sensitive individuals not only have to deal with their own emotions, but also with those of the people around them. The connection between highly sensitive individuals and the collective unconscious also manifests in their relationship with symbols and archetypes. Jung believed that archetypes are universal patterns of behavior and thought that emerge from the collective unconscious and manifest in dreams, mythologies, and religions across all cultures. Highly sensitive individuals, due to their heightened sensitivity, tend to be more receptive to these archetypes. A dream that might seem trivial to another person could be a deep source of insight and self-knowledge for a highly sensitive individual, as they are in more direct contact with these universal symbols. This constant connection to the collective unconscious is not something highly sensitive individuals can turn on or off at will. It is an integral aspect of their being, which means they must learn to manage the emotional overload that often accompanies this sensitivity. Without the proper tools to process and release the emotions they absorb, highly sensitive individuals can find themselves in a constant state of mental and emotional exhaustion. In this sense, self-care is not just an option for highly sensitive individuals, but a vital necessity. Life does not unfold superficially for them. Each sound, image, or emotion can trigger a reaction that not only affects their mind, but also resonates deeply within their soul. Carl Jung, with his focus on depth psychology, allows us to understand how this sensitivity is not merely an increased reactivity to external stimuli, but a direct connection to the deeper forces of the psyche. From the Jungian perspective, sensitivity is not a flaw or a weakness. Rather, it is a manifestation of the connection between the conscious self and the unconscious. Highly sensitive individuals are more open to perceiving the nuances of the world that others may overlook. This openness can be interpreted as a relationship between the senses and the soul, where what is merely background noise to some can be a signal of something deeper to a highly sensitive person. This process can be explained through Jung's theory of the unconscious, where what we experience at the conscious level is strongly influenced by archetypal and symbolic forces residing in the collective unconscious. In daily life, this extreme sensitivity can translate into a series of challenges. For example, a highly sensitive individual might find that a trivial conversation or a small social interaction has a much greater emotional impact than expected. An apparently innocuous comment could unleash a series of internal reactions that others would not experience in the same way. This does not mean that highly sensitive individuals are excessively emotional or unstable. Rather, they have an enhanced capacity to feel more deeply, which includes both the positive and the negative. This level of intensity can be overwhelming, especially in a world so overloaded with stimuli as the current one. Highly sensitive individuals can easily feel inundated by noise, technology, the fast pace of life, and the constant flow of sensory information. For these individuals, a simple trip to the supermarket can be an exhausting experience, not only because of the number of people and noise, but also due to the sensory overload that comes with processing so many stimuli at once. An important strategy that many highly sensitive individuals adopt to manage this intensity is to find moments of calm and solitude. Time alone is not just a luxury for them, it is a necessity. It allows them to disconnect from the constant flow of external stimuli and refocus on their inner world. However, it is important that this time is not seen as a sign of social isolation, but as a way to balance their nervous system and recharge their energies. Carl Jung believed that the balance between external and internal life is fundamental for well-being, and this is especially true for highly sensitive individuals. The concept of the collective unconscious is central to Jungian psychology. According to Jung, the collective unconscious is a reservoir of experiences, symbols, and archetypes shared by all humanity that influences our psyche without our being aware of it. While this concept affects everyone, for highly sensitive individuals, the collective unconscious can have an even greater impact due to their heightened sensitivity. For these individuals, the boundaries between their individual psyche and the energies of the collective unconscious may be more permeable, making them more susceptible to absorbing and reflecting collective emotions. This phenomenon can be clearly observed in social situations. While most people may remain relatively neutral or even distant at events with large crowds, a highly sensitive person may find themselves overwhelmed by the emotional energy surrounding them. This is because, in many cases, highly sensitive individuals are not only dealing with their own emotions, but also with the unexpressed emotions of those around them. For them, a casual conversation or a social gathering can become emotionally exhausting, not because they themselves are emotionally charged, but because they are unconsciously picking up the energies of the group. A clear example of this phenomenon occurs in highly emotional situations, such as funerals, protests, or even celebrations. Highly sensitive individuals may find that, even if they try to remain emotionally distant, the collective emotions ultimately affect them. Their barriers tend to be more fragile or permeable due to their sensitive nature. In these cases, the collective unconscious acts as a resonance field that amplifies emotions, making them feel intensely connected to the collective experience. Individuation is one of the most important concepts in Jungian psychology. It refers to the process by which a person becomes their true self by integrating both their conscious and unconscious aspects. For highly sensitive individuals, this process is particularly challenging when they are surrounded by many people, as the crowd and external chaos tend to distract them from their inner world and personal growth. For Carl Jung, individuation is a journey towards self-realization, and this journey involves confronting the hidden aspects of oneself, what he called the shadow, as well as the archetypes and symbols that emerge from the collective unconscious. In this sense, the process of individuation requires highly sensitive individuals to learn how to manage their sensitivity in order to maintain a balance between the external world and their inner life. However, for highly sensitive individuals, the pursuit of this balance can be hindered when they are in the presence of many people. Highly sensitive individuals have a unique ability to absorb the emotions and energies of those around them, which can lead them to lose touch with their own inner self. Instead of focusing on their own individuation process, they may become caught up in the expectations, projections, and emotions of others. In intense social situations, this can manifest as a feeling of exhaustion or disconnection from their own center. The challenge for highly sensitive individuals is to find a way to keep their individuation process moving forward even when surrounded by others. This does not mean they should avoid social interactions or withdraw completely from the outside world. On the contrary, Jung believed that individuation is not a solitary process, but involves interaction with the world and with others. What is crucial is that highly sensitive individuals learn to set clear boundaries between their own inner world and the emotions and expectations of others. An important aspect of individuation for highly sensitive individuals is the development of greater self-awareness. This means they must learn to recognize when they are being influenced by the emotions and energies of others and when they are acting from their own center. This process of self-awareness can be facilitated through practices such as meditation, introspective reflection, or even dream analysis, a technique that Jung greatly valued for accessing the deeper aspects of the psyche. Moreover, individuation involves the integration of the shadow, which is the part of us that remains hidden in the unconscious and contains both negative aspects and unrealized potential. For highly sensitive individuals, the shadow may include a tendency to avoid conflict or to conform to the expectations of others to maintain harmony. However, part of the individuation process involves confronting these aspects of oneself and learning to express their true essence, even if it means going against social expectations. Highly sensitive individuals often find themselves in a constant dilemma between their desire for connection with others and the need to withdraw to recharge their energies. Carl Jung, in his distinction between introversion and extroversion, provides a clear explanation of why highly sensitive individuals tend to lean toward introversion as a necessary refuge. It is not a social preference, but a strategy for psychic survival. According to Jung, introversion is an orientation toward the inner world. Introverted people find their energy in analysis, reflection, and internal processing rather than gaining it from interaction with the external world. For highly sensitive individuals, who are extremely sensitive to external stimuli, this retreat inward is crucial for maintaining their emotional and mental balance. Life in the external world can be overwhelming for them, with its noise, expectations, and energies that often surpass their limits. This need for introspection does not mean that highly sensitive individuals do not enjoy company or social relationships. In fact, many highly sensitive individuals deeply value their connections with others. However, for them, these interactions must be meaningful and not simply superficial. Large gatherings or trivial conversations can leave a highly sensitive individual feeling exhausted and disconnected from their own center. This is because, during these interactions, they are constantly processing not only what is being said, but also what is felt, what is not being said, and the emotional dynamics at play. When a highly sensitive individual retreats into their inner world, they do so not only to escape external stimulation, but to process everything they have absorbed. This process of reflection is fundamental to their well-being. Through introspection, highly sensitive individuals can reorganize their thoughts, emotions, and experiences, preventing them from accumulating and becoming an overwhelming burden. This type of internal processing is what allows them to recharge their energies and return to the external world with a renewed capacity to interact with others. One of the difficulties faced by highly sensitive individuals is that the modern world, with its frantic pace and emphasis on extroversion, often does not value introspection. Highly sensitive individuals may feel pressured to engage in more social activities or to be more productive according to prevailing social standards. However, for these individuals, ignoring their need for alone time can quickly lead to emotional exhaustion, anxiety, or even depression. What Jung teaches us is that introversion is not a flaw or something that needs to be corrected. Rather, it is a valid and necessary orientation for many people, especially those who are highly sensitive. The key is to find a balance between the time they spend in their inner world and their interactions with the external world. This balance can allow them to make the most of their sensitivity without feeling constantly drained or overwhelmed. In Carl Jung's psychology, the archetypes, behaviors, and symbols that reside in the collective unconscious are significant. One of the most powerful archetypes that resonates with highly sensitive individuals is that of the solitary. This archetype represents the figure of the individual who withdraws from the hustle and bustle of society to explore the mysteries of their own being. In many cultures, the solitary is seen as a wise person or a visionary, someone who has found in solitude a path to self-knowledge and self-realization. For highly sensitive individuals, the archetype of the solitary is not just a mythical figure, but a daily reality. Often these individuals feel the need to step away from the outside world to process their thoughts and emotions. This inclination towards solitude should not be interpreted as a desire for isolation or social rejection, but as a quest for clarity and internal balance. In solitude, highly sensitive individuals find the necessary space to reconnect with their deepest essence and deal with the complexities of their emotional experiences. The archetype of the solitary is especially relevant for highly sensitive individuals because it reflects their ability to delve deep into their inner world. While many people may feel uncomfortable with solitude, highly sensitive individuals often embrace it as an opportunity for personal growth. Rather than avoiding silence, they use it to explore their own thoughts, feelings, and desires. This process of self-exploration can lead to a greater understanding of themselves and their place in the world, which is fundamental to their emotional and mental well-being. However, the life of the solitary is not always easy in a society that values extroversion, productivity, and constant interaction. Highly sensitive individuals may feel pressured to conform to a lifestyle that does not align with their internal needs. This pressure can generate feelings of misunderstanding or even alienation. The archetype of the solitary teaches us that solitude is not something to be feared, but an opportunity to find internal truth. Jung believed that the journey towards self-knowledge often requires periods of isolation and reflection, and that only through this process can a person become fully integrated. It is important to highlight that the archetype of the solitary does not imply a total disconnection from the world. In fact, many solitaries find ways to contribute to society after spending time in reflection. This balance between the inner and outer worlds is crucial for highly sensitive individuals, who must learn to navigate between these two realms without losing themselves in either of them. For highly sensitive individuals, solitude can be a tool for empowerment, allowing them to return to the outside world with a greater capacity to interact with others in an authentic and meaningful way. For highly sensitive individuals, one of the biggest challenges in everyday life is overstimulation. Due to their ability to perceive and process information more intensely, highly sensitive individuals often feel overwhelmed by stimuli that would be trivial to others. This overstimulation not only affects their mental and emotional state, but can also have physical effects, creating an experience that impacts their overall well-being. Carl Jung did not specifically address the issue of overstimulation, but his work on psychic energy and how the unconscious affects the conscious mind, offers us a way to understand this phenomenon. Jung described the psyche as a system governed by the dynamics of energy. When a person is exposed to an overload of stimuli, this energy becomes depleted or overflows, which can lead to both physical and mental collapse. For a highly sensitive individual, overstimulation can come from a wide range of sources. Loud noises, crowds, bright lights, or even an overload of information can trigger a reaction of exhaustion. While an average person may feel tired after a long day in a noisy city, a highly sensitive individual may find themselves completely drained, unable to continue with their day without a period of rest and recovery. This exhaustion is a sign that their psychic system has been overloaded and needs time to recuperate. The impact of stimulation is not limited to the mind. Many highly sensitive individuals experience physical symptoms such as headaches, chronic fatigue, digestive issues, or muscle pain after being exposed to overstimulating environments. This connection between mind and body is something Jung explored in his work, suggesting that unresolved tensions in the psyche can manifest physically. In the case of highly sensitive individuals, overstimulation creates an imbalance that affects both their mental and physical health. The solution for many highly sensitive individuals lies in self-care and learning to establish healthy boundaries. This includes knowing when to withdraw from overwhelming situations, creating a quieter environment, and minimizing exposure to unnecessary stimuli. Jung believed that self-regulation of psychic energy is fundamental for well-being. For highly sensitive individuals, this self-regulation means finding a balance between exposure to the outside world and the necessary time to recharge their internal energies. A crucial aspect of managing overstimulation is the ability to identify when it is occurring. Highly sensitive individuals, due to their introspective nature, can often sense when they are reaching their limits. However, social pressure and external expectations sometimes lead them to ignore these signs, resulting in a more severe physical or emotional collapse. Therefore, it is essential for highly sensitive individuals to learn to listen to their bodies and minds and to prioritize their well-being, even when the outside world demands that they keep going without rest. One of the most complex psychological dynamics that Carl Jung explored was the concept of projection. According to Jung, projection occurs when we attribute aspects of our own psyche that we do not consciously recognize or accept to others. Although projection is a common psychological mechanism in all people, for highly sensitive individuals, this dynamic can function differently, as they not only project their own feelings onto others, but also tend to absorb the projections and emotions of others. At a much deeper level, highly sensitive individuals, due to their empathetic nature, are like emotional sponges. In a social interaction, they not only experience their own emotions, but also pick up on the emotions, moods, and even unexpressed intentions of those around them. This process is largely unconscious, meaning that many highly sensitive individuals do not realize they are absorbing the feelings of others until they feel emotionally exhausted or confused. Jung described projection as a mechanism by which an individual sees in another what is hidden in their own unconscious. For highly sensitive individuals, this phenomenon is particularly intense. For example, in a conversation with someone experiencing anxiety, a highly sensitive person may begin to feel anxious as well, even though there is no apparent reason for it. This is because, at an unconscious level, they are absorbing the emotional energy of the other person and often interpreting it as their own. This process of emotional absorption can be both a blessing and a burden. On one hand, it allows highly sensitive individuals to understand and connect with others in a very deep way. They can perceive when someone is going through a difficult time, even if that person does not express it verbally. This makes them empathetic friends and advisors. However, this same ability can also lead to feeling overwhelmed by the emotions of others, which can make it difficult for them to maintain a clear sense of their own feelings and needs. One of the main difficulties faced by highly sensitive individuals is learning to distinguish between their own emotions and the emotions they have absorbed from others. This confusion can lead to feelings of emotional exhaustion, anxiety, or even depression if not properly addressed. Jung suggested that the integration of the shadow, meaning the recognition and acceptance of the hidden aspects of one's psyche, is essential to avoid projection and the absorption of others' emotions. For highly sensitive individuals, This involves developing greater awareness of their emotional boundaries and learning to protect themselves from emotional overload. A key aspect of managing projection for highly sensitive individuals is building clear emotional boundaries. This does not mean that they should become insensitive or distant, but rather that they need to learn to establish a psychological space between themselves and others. Highly sensitive individuals can often benefit from practices such as meditation, journaling, or even visualization that allow them to clear the emotions they have absorbed and reconnect with their own emotional center. For highly sensitive individuals, therapy can be much more than just a space to resolve problems. In Carl Jung's view, therapy is a tool for self-knowledge and a refuge where one can explore the unconscious in a deep and meaningful way. For highly sensitive individuals, therapy not only offers an opportunity to process difficult emotions, but also to learn how to manage their sensitivity in a healthy and balanced way. Jung believed that therapy should go beyond simply resolving symptoms. For him, the goal of therapy was the integration of the conscious self with the unconscious, a process he called individuation. This process is especially valuable for highly sensitive individuals, who often feel overwhelmed by the amount of emotions and impressions they absorb from the outside world. Therapy provides a safe space where highly sensitive individuals can explore their thoughts and feelings without the distraction of social demands or sensory overload. One of the most important aspects of therapy for highly sensitive individuals is the opportunity to establish a dialogue with their own unconscious. Jung viewed dreams, fantasies, and symbols as the main avenues through which the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind. In this context, highly sensitive individuals can learn to interpret their dreams and understand the symbols that appear in their lives, providing them with a deeper understanding of themselves and their emotions. This process of guided introspection can be transformative, as it allows them to access aspects of their psyche that might otherwise remain hidden. Additionally, therapy offers highly sensitive individuals a chance to learn how to set healthy boundaries. One of the main difficulties they face is their tendency to absorb the emotions of others. In therapy, they can learn to identify when they are internalizing others' feelings and when they are reacting to their own emotions. This type of discernment is essential for their emotional well-being, as it allows them to protect themselves from emotional overload and avoid burnout. Another key aspect of therapy for highly sensitive individuals is the validation of their experience. In a world that often values extroversion and emotional resilience, highly sensitive individuals may feel misunderstood or even weak because of their sensitivity. Therapy can provide a space where their sensitivity is validated and recognized as a strength rather than a weakness. This validation can be profoundly healing, as it helps them accept their sensitive nature and learn to live with it in a positive and balanced way. In Carl Jung's work, the mandala is one of the most powerful and significant symbols for the human psyche. Jung viewed the mandala as a symbolic representation of the self, a circle that reflects the wholeness and unity of being. For highly sensitive individuals, the mandala can be an invaluable tool for finding balance and harmony in a world that often overwhelms them with stimuli and emotions. The mandala, which appears in many cultures and spiritual traditions, symbolizes order and integration. For Jung, it represented the process of individuation, in which a person integrates different parts of their psyche, the conscious and the unconscious, into a coherent whole. Highly sensitive individuals, who often struggle to balance their inner life with the outside world, can find in the mandala a symbolic map that guides them toward inner peace and emotional stability. For highly sensitive individuals, the mandala offers a visual structure that can help them focus their attention and calm their minds in a world where they are constantly bombarded by stimuli. The mandala provides a focal point that allows them to reconnect with their inner self. By meditating on a mandala, highly sensitive individuals can experience a sense of internal balance and order that helps them manage the sensory and emotional overload to which they are exposed daily. The process of creating or contemplating a mandala can also be deeply therapeutic. Jung believed that drawing or painting mandalas could help individuals express and organize their unconscious emotions in a symbolic way. For highly sensitive individuals who often have difficulty verbalizing their feelings due to the intensity of their emotions, the use of mandalas can be a powerful way to externalize and process what is happening in their inner world. Through this creative process, highly sensitive individuals can find a way to shape and give meaning to their emotional experiences, providing them with a greater sense of control and understanding of themselves. For highly sensitive individuals, the world can feel chaotic and unpredictable. Sensory overload, social demands, and intense emotions often create a sense of disorder that can be difficult to manage. However, Carl Jung believed in the power of rituals as a way to bring order and structure to life. Rituals not only provide a sense of control, but can also create a refuge where highly sensitive individuals can retreat to recharge their energies and find inner peace. Jung understood that rituals have profound symbolic power. They are not just repetitive actions, but also means to connect with the unconscious and to structure the psyche in a way that promotes mental and emotional health. For highly sensitive individuals, rituals can be an invaluable tool for creating a sense of safety and stability in a world that often feels overwhelming. These rituals do not have to be complicated or spiritual. They can include simple practices like daily meditation, journaling, or even the act of consciously preparing a cup of tea. What is important is that rituals provide a sense of continuity and predictability, something that highly sensitive individuals value deeply. In a world where external stimuli are constant and unpredictable, rituals offer a way to anchor and center themselves. By following a ritual, highly sensitive individuals can create a space in which they feel secure and where they can disconnect from the external chaos to reconnect with their inner world. Moreover, rituals can also have a therapeutic effect on the psyche. Jung believed that rituals help channel psychic energies in a constructive way, which is essential for emotional well-being. For highly sensitive individuals who often feel their energy scattered in too many directions due to sensory overload, rituals provide a way to focus that energy positively and regeneratively. A simple ritual, such as lighting a candle and breathing deeply for a few minutes, can have a profound impact on a highly sensitive individual's mental and emotional state, helping them calm their mind and recharge their energy. Another advantage of rituals is that they can be personalized to meet the individual needs of each highly sensitive person. While some may find comfort in meditation or prayer, others may prefer more physical activities like yoga or nature walks. What matters is that the ritual is meaningful and offers a unity for introspection and renewal. By creating and following their own rituals, highly sensitive individuals can establish a routine that allows them to face the challenges of the outside world in a more balanced and calm way. In summary, rituals offer highly sensitive individuals a powerful way to manage sensory and emotional overload. By creating safe and predictable spaces in their lives, highly sensitive individuals can find the balance and peace they need to thrive in a world that often overwhelms them. Carl Jung believed in the symbolic power of rituals, and for highly sensitive individuals, these can be a key tool for maintaining their emotional and mental well-being. For highly sensitive individuals, life can be a complex and often overwhelming experience. However, Carl Jung offers us a deep understanding of this sensitivity, helping us recognize that it is not a weakness, but a doorway to greater connection with the unconscious and the process of individuation. Highly sensitive individuals, through their ability to feel and perceive the world more intensely, have a unique connection with the deeper aspects of the human psyche. By learning to manage their sensitivity and finding a balance between interacting with the outside world and introspection, highly sensitive individuals can live more authentically and fully. The key is to accept their sensitivity as a strength rather than seeing it as a limitation. Through practices such as rituals, guided introspection, and self-exploration, highly sensitive individuals can find the tools they need to thrive in a world that often overwhelms them. Jung teaches us that the path to individuation is a delicate process that requires patience and understanding. For highly sensitive individuals, this path may be more challenging due to their sensitivity, but it is also an opportunity to develop a greater understanding of themselves and others. By finding a balance between their inner life and the outside world, highly sensitive individuals can access a deeper level of self-understanding and self-actualization, enabling them to live more balanced and authentic lives.